Hello, Yankee fans. What is going on? I am Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy, joined with Vice President Danny Boy Reginald, and welcome to Episode 2, the official Episode 2 of Bonner's Banter here on the Sports Insanity Network. Yankee fans, you may rejoice. Baseball is here. As we are coming to the close of the first month of the season. Danny Boy Reg, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. I'm watching Nestor Cortez as we speak kick some ass. That better stay in the ballpark because I'm saying he's kicking ass and it stays in the ballpark. So he's kicking some ass.
Yeah, if it went out of the park, like right now, the Yankees are playing as we speak.
Yeah, and by the way, you will know the score by the time this episode is released. So but yeah, the Yankees are playing right now. So it's a good time to be recording while the Yankees are playing.
What a great time to be recording. So
yeah, no, very, very, very cool. We finally getting an opportunity to we did a test run of Episode 2. Didn't go out well.
No, we'll just say this: everything that you think could go wrong went wrong.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. So
hopefully, we're gonna pretend that episode doesn't exist.
Yes. So this is the official Episode 2, as Bill has been saying. We'll recap pretty much the month of April. Now that the episode we tried to preview the season, but thankfully SIP we were able to get our thoughts out there. So now we get to talk about the season at hand, and so far, Billy Boy, it's okay.
Yeah, I'd give it if I were to rank the start of the season between A and F, I give it like a B minus.
I'd give it a B as well.
Yeah, it's just that they're not starting off terribly,
which is good.
Which we'll give credit for. It's not starting terribly, but there are a load of issues that we are going to discuss.
Far too many.
It's not last year, though.
No.
Because you know what? You know this. I know this. Every Yankee fan and their mothers knows this. The Yankees usually get off to a slow start.
Yeah.
And that's why during the 2020 season, that's why we were freaking out, because when it's 50 games, you can't afford a slow start. But this year, I would say it's sort of smooth bump, smooth bump, smooth bump. You get the point.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, what do you think of? So, how do you think of the month of April so far?
There's some highlights here. It's not all bad. First things first, I love what I'm seeing out of Volpe. He may not be producing hitting wise, but he's getting on base. He's playing good defense. He has a good glove at shortstop, thank goodness. And he's doing other contributions to the team that we expect young players to do. Not every young player out there is going to be like an Aaron Judge or a Bobby Witt Jr. or, these young guys, Bryce Harper, who's going to come out and become an instant stud. We have you can't have those expectations. You have to see for what it is. And so far, I think Volpe has done an exceptional job. He may not be producing much hitting wise, though he has been better with the bat of late. I think that he's contributing well, and it's a good thing to see. So on that front, that's been good. DJ LeMahieu has been excellent. He's hitting the ball well.
LeMahieu is hitting the ball.
And that's been great to watch, because we expected a big season out of him. Imagine if he has a terrible season. We're wondering, well, why did we give him a big-ass contract? So anyone that needs to produce and stay healthy is DJ LeMahieu so far. He has done that, thank goodness.
DJ, if you're listening to this, please stay healthy. Well, he's
Yeah.
probably not watching this right now because he's playing, but
Exactly.
if you happen to watch this, DJ, please stay healthy.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge, I'm gonna admit, he's kind of on and on. Like he's been hitting the home run, but he's the bump. He's the smooth bump, smooth bump,
he's
smooth
definitely
bump.
the smooth bump part of this, because obviously he's not getting off to a fast start, but he's hitting a lot of home runs.
And you know what? That could be both a blessing and a curse. I'm glad he hits home runs. Don't get me wrong. Like,
but
I've already been to 2 games already, and he hit a home run in both of them. And watching Judge hit a home run in person is freaking something.
It's spectacular for sure. Yeah.
It's like this big shock to the stadium. It is huge. And, you brought up Volpe. This past Friday, he got his first career home run, and yours truly was there.
Nice, yeah.
Yours, and then Judge hit right after him. Yeah. So if he gets really big, I could say I was at his first home run. So
yeah. Judge is the smooth bump you're talking about, but he is hitting home runs. But my big issue is last year, not only did Aaron Judge hit home runs, he also hit base. He has singles and doubles, and they drove in runs. He also walked. Like, he's a walking machine. And I know the analytics gods love him because he gets on base all the time. But of course, this is not quite there. And again, April, maybe he's on a bit of a hangover. Maybe he needs a little more time than he did last year. So, but still, it has to be acknowledged that the Yankees just, haven't really been hitting well, and Judge is a big reason for that.
And you know what? And like, here's the thing, and here's the problem with Judge and just the hitting in general.
Yeah,
they don't play the small ball,
Yeah, no, and again,
swinging for the fences, which
that's the frustrating part about it. They're not scoring a lot of runs, and they're not getting a lot of hits. They're not playing a old school style of baseball where you're constantly moving the runners. That's how they won the game on Wednesday night against the Angels, when in the extra innings there was a sac
move the runner around
by Glaber to win the game. Sac flies completely underrated. I'm quoting the great Joe McFly from John Boy. The sac fly is underrated. It's the truth, because this is how baseball works. There's other elements besides the big home run. You got to find ways to get hits, get people on base, and move the runners. And, time and time again, the Yankees continue to not do that. And I get that they're not built that way, but that shouldn't matter. Yankees, if managed correctly and whatnot, would be doing this type of baseball, and they just aren't. And it's one of the things that frustrates me with how this team is built.
Well, here's the thing. When it's the bottom of the 10th, like last night, you have runners on and you're at the plate. Listen, I don't care whether you get that run, single, double, triple, home run, sac fly, sac bunt, error. Just get the run in. I don't care how you do it. Just get it in.
And look, chicks dig the long ball, fine. However, I'm a baseball purist. I want to see real baseball. I want to see getting the ball in play. I want to see players hustling. I don't want to see strikeouts. Like, I want to see good baseball. And nowadays, it seems like the Yankees just don't necessarily care about that. And it's a different age of Yankee baseball for sure. Now, with that said, the Yankees have 11 wins. So
that's something to scoff at.
Yeah, it's not. It's they're right there. Given how the rest of the league is looking, the Yankees actually look like one of the best teams in the league. because of their record. But let's be real, they're just not. They're masking all the wins, and the
because they've been
mask of the wins is because of the pitching. Go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
yeah, masking the wins, and they haven't been playing great teams.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's one team, we'll talk about that in a little bit, which gave them a run for their money, which I called it. But their record is better than what they are.
Yeah.
And there is one other player we have to talk about who's hurt. Say it with me, folks. Again. Giancarlo Stanton is on the IL. Say it again. Say it with me. Again.
Yeah, but Bill, why get frustrated about it when you know this is going to happen every
We're
year?
just basically I think everybody here is just jaded at this point. Like,
Yankee
Giancarlo's going to get
Yankee
hurt.
fans cannot be upset with Giancarlo because this is what you expect. Like, ever since pretty much the 2019 season, when he, hurt his arm. Since the 2019 season, Giancarlo has not been healthy a lot. He hasn't. So you have to sort of expect that there's going to be some type of weird, silly injury that he's going to sustain. And again, it doesn't make it less frustrating because it's very frustrating. But you have to expect it to happen. So that's why instead of being upset with Giancarlo Stanton not staying on the field, you got to think about who's up next man up. We have to have that mentality.
Absolutely.
Our brains. That's how the Yankees have to operate. So I'm looking at the kids in the minor leagues. Can you give me something? Because Aaron Hicks didn't give you anything.
Oh, don't get me started on Hicks. I'm sorry. Get rid of him. Just get rid of Aaron Hicks.
Yeah, seriously, it's time.
Time. Why do they keep taking?
They're stupid. They're stupid.
Donaldson has been.
Well, he's hurt too.
He is hurt as well.
No.
I have issues with Hicks. I have issues with Donaldson. Donaldson will cut a little bit of slack this episode. But when you come back, Josh, I'm not gonna take it easy on you, buddy.
But yeah, so that's sort of the story. Specifically with those two, Donaldson and Hicks, is that when they're on the field, they give you lackluster baseball, and then they're not insistent when they don't play. It's like no one cares anymore. And if you're Aaron Boone, and he sort of tried to do this, but got some backlash over it, because of the Yankee lineup for that specific game. He tried to send a message to Hicks saying, "Hey, look, you're not playing well. We're going to bench you." And no ifs, ands, or buts. I think it's getting to a point where, even Boone is tired of it. And Boone has been a major defender of all of his players. Aaron Boone is not afraid to defend his players if they feel like they're, unfairly criticized and anything. That's actually one of the things I actually love about Boone is he's a huge players manager. But man, he has to be frustrated with the play. And the fans are saying it, eventually he's going to have to start going with his gut and understand, hey, look, he's not doing well. Fans are obviously have been noticing it for years, and it's time to play the people that are going to give you the best chance to win.
And throw his behind on the bench.
Yeah. And look, ultimately he's going to play more games because he's under contract. And I think he'd be very frustrated if he doesn't play. But I don't care because he stinks. He's bad.
Let me start on Aaron. Aaron Hicks is just.
I don't know.
Why do they keep defending this guy?
I think look, he's been with the club for a long time now. We're going on 8 seasons or so. So
Yes,
I think that he's been with the club for a while, and he has been on playoff runs with them. So there is some that aspect to it. And I don't really hear any complaints about how bad of a person or teammate he is. So I think that factors into it too. But he stinks.
yeah, he's Donaldson.
Yeah, I know. And again, we can cry about it all we want, but the reality is, with the situation in the outfield, he's going to play more, and we're going to have to deal with it.
And we have other stuff to cry about.
Yeah, we do. And again, it's not the only reason why the Yankees are not playing very well, but it's certainly a big, big, big thorn up our asses. And
It
it
is.
and it happens every season with this guy, every season. And then Donaldson doesn't make it any better because, you know, look, and I understand we need to get rid of that Sanchez contract, but we lost a good third baseman. He's actually playing us right now, Gio Urshela. We lost a good third baseman. We lost a good hitter who was feisty. He's young. He's hip. He loved being a Yankee. He loved playing with us. And in return, we get IKF, get Donaldson, and both of them are just god awful. So that's probably one of the big traits that I think Cashman will not necessarily regret, but will have to learn from in the future.
Absolutely. So so yeah, that's with the Yankees offense. They, like I said, the hitting, it's no pun intended, hit and miss.
Mm.
It's hit and
Yeah,
miss.
yeah, but you know what? At least the production is sort of there. Rizzo keeps hitting home runs. Judge keeps hitting home runs, but home runs are not the only thing we should be focused on, and they're just not built that way. So give it a while. Hopefully, they'll come into form. And look,
Play the small ball.
and
Get on base.
in the meantime, enjoy the production getting out of LeMahieu because we missed that big time.
Oh,
Remember,
big time.
remember that 2019 season where all he did is hit and hit and hit and hit. Well,
Wasn't that wonderful?
that's what we're getting right now. So that's been pretty awesome to watch. And then of course, like I said, playing the kids, Cabrera, he's okay. He's been actually doing fairly well. Volpe's been doing okay. I expect him to stay up for a while. Um, keep at it. Just keep at the formula.
So,
Um,
all right. So that's the hitting. It's smooth bump, smooth bump, smooth bump.
yeah,
Now let's talk about the pitching.
yeah.
it
Well, it's not the worst, Bill.
isn't the worst.
Oh,
We'll give the Yankee pitching rotation.
the,
It's not the worst.
the pitching, has actually been fairly good, as a matter of fact.
The
Uh,
rotation's been good. I'm not going to sit here and lie about that, but you're missing Sevy, who I'm
yeah,
not
sorry.
jaded by this. Sevy gets hurt every 5 minutes. Um, Carlos Rendon is hurt,
Yeah.
so they're out of the rotation. Okay, we got to talk about Garrett Cole. Has been a beast.
Yeah. Cole has been absolutely fantastic. He had a complete game shutout or a complete
Sunday,
game Sunday. Um,
gave up two
I
hits.
I don't remember if it was a shutout or whatever, but he went the distance. Um,
No, it was a shutout.
it was a shutout. Okay, so he went the distance, and which helped further his ERA to be sub 1, which is pretty darn good.
Amazing.
I mean, the only ERA that's better is our old friend Sonny Gray, who has a .55, which is just unreal.
Yeah.
Um, But no, Garrett Cole is outstanding. This is the year where he's gonna turn it up for that possible Cy Young. I
That's what
see it.
everyone is saying. Like,
I
this
can
is
see
gonna
it,
be
and
his year.
we were feeling it, Bill, because he's used to New York. He had a good postseason. He had a good season overall last year. This guy never misses a game. This guy's always around, and you can sense from spring training, from the way things were coming out and stuff, how hungry he was. You can tell he was ready. This is his moment to come out and shine this season. And he has far blossomed so far. And I hope it continues because, Cole, like I said, he's one of the major factors into our team. Like, he is the one that you can always count on. And sometimes I feel like we take him for granted because we don't see good pitchers out there like Garrett Cole anymore. Not on our team. And the fact that he belongs to us and is giving some good outings, some spectacular outings, as a matter of fact, like
Mhm.
it's very cool to watch, and I hope it continues, man. The Yankees could really use on a day where Garrett Cole is out there. The Yankees can really use him to win, and
Absolutely.
it's not going to always happen. It's a long season. It's not going to always happen, but my goodness, can this man come out here every 5 days and do his things? Yeah, and I know you're pointing to the 4-0 sign.
4-0,
4-0,
baby. He's
4-0.
4-0.
Like, yeah, he can he do that every week?
And you want to know something? When he pitched that game on Sunday, he's on my fantasy team.
Mhm.
Reg will tell you this is my third consecutive year getting Garrett Cole. This is my
How,
third consecutive year.
how lucky are you?
I know, I'm so lucky. And Pablo Lopez, who he was pitching against, is also on my fantasy team.
Yep.
So yeah, so that was funny. But yeah, Cole is awesome. I love Garrett Cole.
Yeah, no, he has been absolutely spectacular. He's pitched 28 innings and change. He's had 32 strikeouts, and like you said, 4-0 record and 0.95 ERA. And again, that's just it's just absolutely spectacular what we're seeing out here so far. And he has cemented himself as the ace of the staff. He's always been the ace of the staff, but now he's the ultimate ace. And hopefully, when Rodon comes back, I hope that's soon. And if he pitches well, now all of a sudden the Yankees have an excellent rotation because we're also seeing some good stuff out of Nestor Cortez.
yes,
I believe this is like his fourth start, one of those fourth starts. And he's also hasn't lost yet. Um, he has a 2.70 ERA. He is incredible. He's another one, and again, proving me wrong once again. I wasn't quite sure about this year because last year maybe it's a fluke, maybe it's not. No, man, he continues to rake, man. He is pitching like you know, I'm seeing like Clemens like Maddox like
yes.
Glavine like out of just Cole and Nestor together. Like it's pretty cool to watch. So I'm really happy that we're seeing that. And good stuff. And so like I said, if Rodon comes back and is as much of a pitcher as he was in San Francisco,
We have
now we have
Cole,
something.
Cortez, and Rodon. That'd
Now
be
we have a super rotation there. Um, Now the downside to the rotation, Clark Schmidt stinks. I think it's time.
uh,
I think Bill, it's time that we end the experiment.
and just
It's over. Look, do we want to get rid of Clark Schmidt? Not necessarily. You can keep him around. He can. The thing is, you need long man
yes.
in these roles. So
We
like,
need men. We know we need men like Cole, men like Cortez, who could go 7 innings.
right. But Clark Schmidt can also go long too, if in case the bullpen needs a night where you know you can't do short outings. So really the only thing he's good for. Other than that, this guy stinks. Like, he's giving up runs left and right, and teams aren't missing him. It's really bad performances coming out of him. So I think that experiment needs to go. I don't know about you, but I think that Clark,
Yeah, I think Schmidt is garbage.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what? And this transitions into something, Schmidt, yeah, but you know what? This is a general thing here. The bullpen's been shaky.
Yeah.
And that's the best way. Like when I went Friday night, and I was going to say this when we were talking about Nestor Cortez, but we transitioned to Clark Schmidt. Nestor pitched good.
Mhm.
Nestor pitched good,
Mhm.
but then you bring the bullpen in
Right.
and they blow it.
Mhm.
And this bullpen, and I say this every year, Reg, the Yankee bullpen is kind of garbage.
Yeah, I mean, it's first things first. They have mediocre relievers. You get rid of good relievers like Chad Green and you know
Chapman.
Chapman, who's okay, but Chapman struggled his last season and it was a headache to deal with. But when you let people like Chad Green go, Chad Green, who is a very reliable, hasn't been all that great since like the 2019-2020 season. But at least we know he can give you some good outings here. You know, Honestly, the best reliever we have so far, if I'm looking at it correctly, it's Wandy. And
Wandy.
sometimes he could be a bit shaky. I mean, Loizaga too, but Loizaga barely pitched. And I don't think he's pitched much since. Um, yeah, so I feel like in that sense, it's been very frustrating. Um,
Of
Marinaccio has also been pretty good too. So he's pitched quite often this year as well.
these three, Peralta, King, or Loizaga. We'll throw Marinacho in there too. Who would you pick to be closer?
Would I pick to be a closer? I don't know. I would say King because he's had the experience already.
I think King would be a good choice. I think Peralta would be a good choice, but like you said, he can be shaky. So
Um,
Loizaga, I could give a shot to. What do you think?
yeah, I mean, I think he's hurt right now, but like, sure. I mean, I can give him an opportunity. I mean, why not? Um, I would go with King. King is probably better. Um, is a better opportunity. It's nothing against Peralta. I'm sure Peralta will get his opportunities too. King's been in the role before. He did some little bit last year, so and of course has had already had a save opportunity. So to me, we have to build him up. And the reason why we have to build him up and Peralta is because Clay Holmes has not been good closing out games. And he's frustrating to watch. He's been frustrating to watch since the second half of last season. And if we continue to throw Clay Holmes out there, I don't care what analytics say. We continue to throw him out there. The Yankees are going to lose a lot of games, a lot of very close games here. And the Yankees can't afford that. Not in April, not in May, certainly not when the calendar hits June.
I can agree on that. Listen, he's giving up all the runs.
Mhm.
I don't think he can. I am just very concerned right now of who is going to be closer. I am just super concerned right now.
Yeah, I'm concerned too because Yankees have to finish games.
Yes.
They can't expect Cole to go the distance all the time. It's not gonna happen. They're gonna be starts where he does well, but needs to get out after 7 innings because he threw 130 pitches. So you have to expect it to happen.
Yeah. You just can't be. If I'm Aaron Boone, I just can't have the mindset. Oh, I got Cole on the hill today. He'll probably go the whole game, maybe
Yeah.
8 innings. I got to think, okay, I got to get somebody in the pen
Yeah.
because if Cole pitches, throws 120, 130, 135 pitches, I'm not keeping him out there.
Yeah, no, and you shouldn't have to. And to me, and this is where it stinks, man. Not having guys like Canely, who would be a beast in that bullpen.
He would have been awesome, man.
Like, you know, I don't know. It, I look at this pen right now, and I just get straight up confused as to how they pitch. You know, why Boone continues to trust these people. Like, you know, it's some of it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. It really doesn't. And
Well, I think because as the Yankees, now that because we're in the post Rivera era, it's like, just think about it this way, Reggie. When Mariana retired, it's like we had a closer after that, but we
yeah.
didn't have a closer, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
well, we had D Rob, who's killing it for the Mets right now, who did pretty well. But of course, he wasn't necessarily the oomph. So he sort of quit on us after 2014. Went to the White Sox. Um, then
And
we get Chapman,
who
uh,
was,
who well, Chapman was good for us.
yes.
Chapman was good for us until around last year, the year before, where he started to really anger us with the lack of closing games. Before Chapman, we had Andrew Miller. I wanted to acknowledge that Andrew Miller, 2015, he was actually very good for the Yankees. He was good in when he was there, 2015, 2016. I wanted to acknowledge that too. Yeah, we haven't really had a big time closer. I mean, Chapman was our big time closer, but then he
And like,
started to go off the rails and hasn't been the same. And now, like, I don't even know, who can be our closer. Like, it's as if we have to go out and get a closer.
I'm
But
like,
I don't
listen, am I
want to do that.
expecting,
I want to develop my own closer. That's my problem.
am I expecting everyone to be Mariano Rivera? No.
Oh no, it's a tough ask, but you want someone that can shut you down. Like even the years when Mariano's career, when Mariano didn't play, we had Soriano, we had Flash Gordon, those type of shutdown pitchers, Jabba Chamberlain, when he was a reliever and doing very well. We had shut down players, shut down
Yes.
pitchers that could strike you out. Robertson too. Shut down, can strike you out, can get out, can close out games. You know, Yankees don't like. I don't even know who to trust here. So that's just me.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know who, like, King would probably be the best option, but
I think it's King. I really think we should give him a chance. If not him, Peralta. But I
yeah,
just watched.
I'm saying the same thing, either King or Peralta.
I just watched Peralta. Yet he loaded the bases. Well,
Dude.
some of it wasn't him. Some of it wasn't him. Some of it um was a pitch. I didn't see who was starting the inning, but some of it was Peralta, and it wasn't. He got out of the inning. Thankfully, Rendon flew out, of course. But it's stuff like that's what I'm talking about. That you just don't really know. That you don't really. You need to be sure you can get out.
Absolutely. You can't load the bases. That's my concern about Peralta. And so King would be your best. So King or Peralta would be your best option.
Why not try King? And look, if it's not for him, okay, we'll hunt somewhere else.
Yeah, the Yankees really
I
need to
really
figure
can't.
that out.
I
They really
really
need to
can't
get a
believe
closer.
I can't believe we're having this conversation. Like,
Why can't you believe we're having it?
I don't, because I want to. I just want to make sure that the Yankees have when they have leads, whether it's a 1-run lead, 2-run lead, 3-run lead, that they have some cushion. Like even if the Yankees don't have a big cushion, that the bullpen's the cushion, so they can win games. It's all about winning games. So the Yankees, yeah. So Yankees, look, there's some highlights, lowlights. It's tough to really look at this team through mid-April. Like it really is. Like I can't judge this team yet. But
no, I'm in the same boat here. It's like I have concerns about this team, but I got to keep reminding myself it's only April. It's only April. It's only April.
Which is hard to do for a lot of people.
Like if it was like May or June, I'd be having a panic attack right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so now are you ready to look to May?
Sure.
Yeah, but before I want to say this because if I don't say it, no one else will. With these series that have been going on in April, the Yankees have never lost a series. But the series that they split, which was against Minnesota, Reggie, did I or did I not say of the non-division teams that were going to give the Yankees trouble? I said Minnesota, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, and of course
I said that in February in this year of our Lord 2023.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Minnesota's a good team, and that's
Correa,
pretty quickly.
who had a great game, and let me tell you, that Yankee Stadium crowd when I went Friday night, they let him have it.
Yeah, rightfully so.
So, and they're going to be playing them again next week in Minnesota, and I think they're going to give them. I think the Yankees might lose that series.
Well, let's see what happens. I mean, just because the Twins, had a good run in the Bronx doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna win more games. Like I wouldn't necessarily like put it out there yet. Gotta give it some time.
And also, they are playing Toronto before that, and that's going to be a tough series.
Yeah, that's the series that I would be mostly afraid of is the Toronto series, only because Toronto is obviously a more stronger team than the Yankees are, even though the record doesn't necessarily show it. I think the Blue Jays are a way stronger team than the Yankees are. They certainly move batters better than the Yankees do. The only downside is the record. They're only half game back. So, I'm not. That's why I think it'd be a tougher series for the Yankees, especially if that bullpen's going to show up the way it has. That's going to be pretty frustrating.
And plus, before we get to May, the Blue Jays beat the Rays. Like what were we saying? The Rays were pounding on crappy teams.
Right.
So I'm starting to think I think the Rays were just overrated to start. I'm sorry. Because you actually lost to a good team being Toronto.
Yeah,
okay.
but it doesn't necessarily mean though that that they're bad. It just means that they face teams that weren't very good. And right now they're still within that very easy schedule. So it's only going to get harder from here. But let's move on to May, as the Yankees will continue to contend. Like Bill said, the Twins next week, followed by the Rangers after that to close out April. And then in May, we have the Guardians to start off. Then we have a Rays on my birthday weekend.
Ooh.
They'll be in Tampa. Then the Tampa would come the weekend after that, but before they face them, they have the A's who come to town, the poor Oakland A's.
The soon-to-be Las Vegas
Yeah,
A's.
yeah, we'll get to that on SIP. Blue Jays, Reds, Orioles, Padres, Mariners. That's the outlook on the May schedule. And if I'm being real with you, I could see, let's see, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 series we can take out of this.
Okay, which ones do you think those are?
I think it'll be the Guardians. I think it'll be the Reds. I think it'll be the the A's, and I think it'll be the Mariners. I don't see them winning the series against Tampa Bay both times. They'll probably take a game, maybe 3, but they're not going to win both series. The Orioles are hit and miss. I don't expect the Yankees to always win those games. So they'll probably do some BS, 2 out of 3 loss there. Padres are a tough team, though. Padres are struggling, so hopefully, but once they get Tatis back, it's over. that team's gonna be unstoppable.
That team's going to be a beast.
And then I don't expect them to win the series in Toronto. No way, no way. Especially since they pretty much have a new ballpark. They renovated the Rogers Center, so it's gonna look fairly different and hopefully easier to hit home runs out. But that's in Toronto's advantage.
All right. Here's what I say. Cleveland series, I think they can win. In Tampa, I'm a little hesitant about. So I'm going to say no. They should be able to win the Oakland series.
Yes.
They should win the Oakland series. Tampa at Yankee Stadium, I could see them hopefully splitting that series.
Yep.
I could see them hopefully splitting that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them winning in Toronto, that series.
Yep.
That team is a beast. Reds, I think they can win. Orioles, the Orioles can give competition. I honestly think that series could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that series can go either way. Because they won the series earlier in April, so who knows? Padres, like you said, if Tatis it depends on if Tatis is back.
And I think he will be. He certainly will be by that time. I expect him to be.
Fernando Tatis is a beast, so I think they most likely San Diego
and then of course once the lineup settles in, by then it'll be the end of May. So once that lineup settles in, Tatis settles in, I think they'll be unstoppable to play and watch. It's gonna be a headache to watch. By the way, that's Memorial Day weekend, so that should be a very good weekend for baseball and stuff. The only series that I can see as it can go either way is the Orioles, but again, I don't expect it. I always have this bad feeling because especially when they face the Orioles, because it's they seem like an easy team, but they give you headaches whether they suck, whether they're good. So I that's why I'm a little touchy on that.
Okay. And Seattle, in Seattle, I think the Mariners are going to win that series. I think they're going to give the Yankees a huge headache.
See, I disagree. They're it's on the West Coast. I think that the Mariners, I don't know. I really don't know much about this Mariners team. I don't know if they're right now they're one of the bottom teams in the West through 19 games. Of course, that can always change. But
Yes.
right now, based on how they're playing, like I don't trust it. I really don't. I think the Yankees could absolutely win that series and close out May strong.
So yeah, that is our outlook for May.
Yep.
Okay. We're introducing something new here. I have polled Yankee fans on the Yankee fans Facebook group.
Mhm.
Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to do more polls with you guys. So I asked two questions. The first one, okay, we talked most about this, so we'll make this quick. How are the Yankees doing this month? The options are good, bad, neutral, good considering the injury, which was added, and as expected, which was also added. 47% say good considering the injuries. 42% say good. 1% say bad. 6% say neutral, and 4% say as expected. Agree or disagree?
I could. I can't agree with the idea that it's good because it's not good. Like I think I would agree more with the crowd that said good because good despite the injuries. Well, however,
I'm with that crowd too.
yeah, because I'm not only because it's not good we're watching. By the way, LeMahieu drove in another run, so that's another single by him. Again, he's having a fantastic April. But
We're sitting here talking him up, and he's having a good game. So
yeah,
we
so
should do this
again,
during games more often.
yeah, again, I I just think that right now the Yankees are in trouble because players are hurt. Now they're not in total trouble because they still have their best of the best. But some players are injured and it is impacting how they're playing. It is. You can't say that it isn't. So I'm with the crowd of good despite the injuries, or however it was worded.
Yeah. Okay. The second question, and this is one of the this is a very controversial question. Since this past Tuesday was the 100th anniversary. What was that, Reg? The 100th anniversary of Yankee Stadium.
It's funny. It's funny.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to just get this out of the way right now. That whole thing was a ploy. It was just a ploy. Can we all just agree with that statement?
100%. I mean, without a doubt.
And you know what? I forgot, it might have been John Boy or Barstool, or one of them said, fans are celebrating the 100th anniversary of a stadium that was built in 2009. Anyone who was going in thinking, oh, I'm going to go to the 100th anniversary of Yankee Stadium celebration, you got conned. I got this 100th anniversary commemorative ticket. You got screwed.
Yeah, look, I guess what they were trying to do with that was 100th anniversary of being literally on that location in the Bronx. But it's not 100th anniversary of Yankee Stadium. Like, the Yankees played 85 seasons, 85, 86 seasons across the street. And then now they're in their 14th season on this thing. 15th season playing in their current stadium. So you can't call it 100th anniversary. You just can't. I don't understand why they did that. It's just funny. Like, look, if you want to stay 100 years in the Bronx,
so that's totally fine.
Yeah, like I can understand that, or 100 years on 161 in River Ave. Fine. Like you can do stuff like that. You can't say 100 years at Yankee Stadium. Like, come on now. It's an insult to me, to Wrigley Field. It's an insult to Fenway Park. Actual historic ballparks that aren't
because
torn down, that have kept their place for generations of fans to enjoy. Like, you can't do that. And it's a mockery. People laughed at the Yankees because of it. That doesn't make the franchise look good.
Because you know what the thing is? It's like, listen, as Yankee fans, we don't like the Red Sox, but you know what? That is an insult to them because they've stayed in the same park for over 100 years. Yankees just moved across the street.
Yeah.
It's bad when I'm giving the Red Sox credit for something, Reg.
Exactly. But no, I didn't buy into it, and a lot of Yankee fans didn't either. And if you did, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know.
Well, you know what? To be fair, our very good friend JT Mahoney actually went to that game. Shout out to him.
Okay.
And he froze his what off.
Yeah.
So anyway, the question. In honor of the 100th anniversary of Yankee Stadium, which one do you like better? The old stadium, the new stadium, both, or neither?
Old stadium, not even close. That stadium was like legendary. I don't care what anyone says.
Here's what the poll says. 42% say the old stadium.
Okay.
13% say the new stadium. 44% say both. 1% say neither. So you said you like the old stadium better?
So the majority, I would think the majority would like the old stadium better. Like,
I think some of that 44% was like, I kind of like both, but I kind of let's just say I like both.
Look, obviously Yankee Stadium, the current one, has done wonders about home runs and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think the Yankees sort of lost the mojo. Like it was in that. Well, the old stadium, they also did make the playoffs, a few times in that time period. But I think the Yankees sort of lost that mojo in the new stadium. I really think they did.
I'm surprised that 13% like the new stadium.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I don't love it. Like, it's not, to me, it doesn't feel the same. Like, when you went to Yankee Stadium when you were younger, like, you felt like you were at this hollow ground.
Exactly.
You felt like because
you're sitting there thinking
historic.
That outfield, that's where Babe Ruth was. That's where Mickey Mantle was. That's where Joe DiMaggio was.
Exactly.
You look at first base.
The black seats, the way it was shaped, the whole
when you look at first base,
connecting to the bleachers, how it shaded the old stadium's shape. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, because you have the aura. You have this is where it all happened.
Yeah.
This is where it happened. Well, the new stadium, I think my dad said it best, it's just corporate.
Yeah, it's nothing but a money grab.
And you know what? I will say this about the new stadium, though. I will say I think it does look nice.
Yeah, of course.
And, I'll say that. It looks nice.
It's a 21st century stadium, yeah.
And I will say this, compared to the old Yankee Stadium, they do have more food options there. I will say that.
Sure.
Like, that could be seen as a good or bad thing. Like, because the old stadium just had your standard hot dogs, hamburgers, pizza, chicken tenders.
Yeah.
But the new stadium, they have all this stuff there. So I must say their barbecue, I had a brisket sandwich. It was delicious. So I will say that.
I'll trust you on that. All right.
But anyway, but I like the old stadium more because it has the aura there. That's where Ruth played. That's where Garrick played. That's where Mantle played.
Mm-hmm.
This new stadium is just a giant corporate cash grab. Has some good things about it, but honestly, it's just a giant corporate cash grab.
Yeah.
So,
and just before we just move on from it, because I know we have to speed it up a little bit. Just having the Hard Rock Cafe in the stadium, like just having that alone is just brutal.
We're selling out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Guess it's time for it, Reg.
It's time to stomp me.
It's time to stump the Reds.
I keep saying
Okay,
stomp. It's stomp. I apologize.
it's time to stump the Reds. Okay, for those of we're introducing a new segment. We introduced it in the old episode, but that doesn't exist.
Mhm.
And we did the trial run on whatchamacallit, on SIP.
Yep.
So I got 4 questions here for you. And here we go. You ready?
Sure.
In honor of Jackie Robinson Day, which was this past Saturday, 2
Okay.
questions regarding that. Who was the first African American Yankee?
Elson Howard.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the greats. One of the greats.
Very underrated, in my opinion, actually.
Yeah, but you know what? People appreciate Elson. Like he was a great Yankee. He was an excellent Yankee. Yeah, it was awesome. Go ahead. Sorry.
Number 2. Besides from 42, which is retired both for Jackie Robinson and Mariano Rivera, which Yankee number is also retired for multiple players?
For multiple players?
For more than one player.
Which Yankee number?
Yes.
Or 8. Bill Dickey and Yogi Berra.
Correct. I thought I was going to stump you on that one, but
yeah.
Okay. Next. Who did the Yankees open against when the stadium opened in 1923?
Oh, damn it. I don't know that. It's an old-time team. Does this team exist?
It
today?
Still exists today.
Do they exist in the city that they currently play in now?
Yes.
Okay. So it's one of those teams. Okay. Is it a team we face every year? And
Yes.
Is it a team that we face a lot every year?
Yes.
The Boston Red Sox.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
I need those hints. Okay.
All right. Here's the last one. In honor of Aaron Judge's first month as a captain, here's a captain question for you.
Okay.
Derek Jeter was captain from 2003 to 2014. He was the longest captain in franchise history. Who was the shortest? Was it A, Babe Ruth? Was it A, Babe Ruth, B, Thurman Munson, C, Lou Gehrig, or D, Don Mattingly?
Oh, fudge. Ruth, Munson, Gehrig, or Mattingly? Fudge. Who was the shortest? Was there another option besides those 4?
No, those are the options.
Those are the options. God rest his soul, Thurman Munson.
Is that your final answer?
It's a guess, but yeah.
I'm sorry, Reg, that's incorrect.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't right. I know it wasn't right.
Would you like another guess? You just want me to tell you?
I'll go for it. Lou Gehrig.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. You know who it was? It was Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, okay.
Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, wait a minute, Babe Ruth was never captain.
Yeah.
He
He was.
He was, but because of an incident he had with an umpire,
right,
they stripped him of the captaincy, and he was only captain for 6 days.
See, I knew he was captain for a short time. I didn't know it was 6 days.
That is really just that is.
I did not know it was for 6 days. That's crazy,
dude. I know you would probably think either Gehrig or Munson because
yeah, but I keep forgetting that Ruth was a captain, and it was a short time though. It was.
Well, hope you enjoyed this episode that went off without a hitch.
Thank goodness gracious. Please follow this show. We're on YouTube at the Sports Saying Network. Please search us. And please watch all of our content. It's great. Baseball season's underway. We're very excited. The Yankees are in a sort of bumpy road, but it's April. And hopefully in May, things will change. And if it doesn't necessarily change that much, there's always June, July, August, and September. Just don't get to September hovering around 500 or a little bit above that. Like
Yeah,
that's
if we're still talking
great.
if we're still talking in the same way about this team in September that we're talking about them in April, then I'm concerned.
Yeah, no.
No, if we're talking about this team the same way we're talking about them in April, in July that we're talking about them in April, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So
And I don't want to get to a situation where the Yankees are selling, because then that's when they'll be really in trouble. But hopefully it's not the case. It's just April. No need to overreact.
okay, so we will see you next time. Check out all our podcasts on the sportssocietyNetwork.com.
Peace.
Bye-bye.